And joining us now in the order that they will appear on the ballot are Alderman Brookins Jr., who's finishing his first term as Alderman of the 21st Ward, and Leroy Jones Jr., who's the Division Director for Service Employees International Union, Local 73. Gentlemen, welcome both to Chicago tonight.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, Alderman, I'll begin with you as the incumbent. Why do you deserve a second term?
Well, one, things are happening in the 21st Ward, and there's more building in the 21st Ward of Chicago than anywhere else outside of downtown. We've had, in a short 3.5, almost 4 years, we've had Best Buy, Staples, we've had Starbucks, we've had Burlington Coat Factory. We just did the groundbreaking for Lowe's Home Improvement. On that site will be Lowe's, Old Navy, The Gap, Bed Bath & Beyond, Office Depot, Bank of America, Aldi's. We're building 238 homes in the 21st Ward. Property values up, that's according to Chicago Crane, Chicago Business. Education is rising. We're doing great things with respect to that. We're building a new high school in the 21st Ward. Crime is down.
So you've got some momentum, is what you're saying.
We've got a bunch of momentum.
Well, let me ask Mr. Jones, in light of that momentum, why should the incumbent be replaced?
Well, that's the incumbent's view of having momentum. My view is that the economic development he talked about is only at the highway there on 87th Street. We have other streets, 95th Street, we have Halsted, we have Ashland, and we have Loomis, that there's no economic development in. Schools are failing. They are taking over our schools as we know them as public schools and making private schools out of them, giving them to charter. So I disagree with the Alderman at that level. The houses that are being built are not affordable housing. They're not affordable because of the rates that they're charging for the medium income in that community. That community makes between $40,000 and $45,000. Those houses are $275,000 houses.
All right, well, let's get a quick response to the Alderman. You've raised a bunch of points.
Well, that's
Alderman?
not true. There's development all over the 21st Ward. We also have big and small business. We had Lanyap, which is right there at 79th and Justine, an African-American young lady. We helped her get started. She was in the Taste of Chicago for the first time.
It's not the small business. Excuse me for interrupting. That has been one of the defining issues of the ward, and that has to do with the big box ordinance,
absolutely,
which you opposed,
absolutely,
and your attempts to bring in Walmart. Why did you want to bring in Walmart?
Well, one, that particular site with Lowe's Home Improvement represents 1,450 permanent and temporary jobs on that particular site. Nobody wants to move into an area where it's on the downcline. Everybody wants to move into an area where things are happening, things are getting built. That raises property values, that lifts the spirits of the residents of the 21st Ward. They've seen over the years businesses and big businesses constantly moving out of the 21st Ward. As we see on 79th and the Dan Ryan, Dominic's is about to leave the area. We are doing something that no other ward has been able to do and attract these businesses, because I have a clear vision that I talk to these business people. I can articulate the message about the ward and the people, etc. We go to the conventions in Las Vegas to attract these people here, and because of my efforts, things are happening. Things that did not happen under my prior two predecessors.
All right, let's get Mr. Jones back in here. You work full-time for a union. The unions were opposed to Walmart. The unions were in favor of the big box ordinance, which would have called for a so-called living wage. And yet, the Alderman says, more than 1,000 permanent jobs. Why not?
More than 1,000 permanent jobs. The union, let me set the people straight here. The unions are not opposed to Walmart. The unions are opposed to Walmart's wages and Walmart not giving benefits. Do you understand that the people that Walmart employ are paid such a low salary that they have to eventually go on public aid? So that means as taxpayers in the city of Chicago subsidize these meager wages with food stamps, housing, and medical benefits. As you know, Cook County has a problem right now with their medical bills. They're laying off people and closing down clinics. So why should we allow the richest corporation in the world to be subsidized by wages, their wages to be subsidized by the taxpayers of the state of Illinois? That is ridiculous.
The Walmart issue has gone away for a while, but the big box ordinance could presumably come back. Would you be in favor of putting that back on the table?
I would certainly be in favor of putting the big box issue back on the table. Absolutely. I think everybody should earn a living wage and be able to support their family.
Alderman